In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, welcome to your channel, Megawaria channel. As a comprehensive continuation of the course, Governance from A to Z. Last time, we talked about an introduction and mentioned that there are 4 main pillars of governance. And there is a crucial element that effectively unites these 4 important pillars. First, consult the board of directors. Secondly, the responsible executive management team. Thirdly, conducting internal auditing. What element connects the 4 quarters together? Audit committee. The audit committee identifies the common factor that connects the quarters together. Today we will discuss the significance of the number 1. We will prominently feature this particular number first in many upcoming episodes. The first number represents the board of directors. We will thoroughly discuss the board of directors in successive episodes of our podcast series. The different types of members within the council. What specific information or resources does the council member need during his presence in the council meeting? Does she need to know any specific or detailed information at this time? Should the company be aware of this crucial information? Represents every shareholder. He has an executive role in the company. How does he know this is an enemy executive? How does he identify an executive enemy? We are just throwing together something very simple and quick. He receives a regular salary from the company. Company official maintains an ongoing working relationship between them, manages daily tasks. The enemy remains. He has a deputy. He takes it regularly from the company office. Okay? The non-executive enemy. As the name suggests, he is a non-executive adversary. That's why he doesn't receive a salary from the organization. Right? Someone tell me about the enemy. He receives a bonus. This is not the board of directors' end-of-year bonus and salary package. The one stipulated by it. In the decision of formation, rewards decision. Evening committee. So this is not a salary. There is no business relationship caught between the enemy of the council and the company. The company simply can't refuse. Don't underestimate the enemy. A day you can't take anything away from. The board of directors earned reward. The non-executive enemy does not hold a significant position. As senior executive within the company, he avoids routine tasks. This daily routine introduces us to the relentless executive enemy. We are discussing a non-executive foe. Factors influence his decision. Whether it is the primary factor that significantly affects his independence. Based on his decision, a material need was addressed, or something intangible. What does an independent enemy mean? He starts as an independent enemy. He must be a non-executive enemy with no decision-making power. It's unbelievable just from the name. He will receive a salary. The first thing is number 1, non-executive enemy. An independent adversary must always be a non-executive adversary. Number 2, he has no significant business dealings with the company. It means I'm not going to be joining the company anymore. In a collaborative partnership, in a sales transaction, purchase transaction. He didn't actually work at the company at that time. The last 2 years, some countries, such as the Kingdom of Bahrain, they didn't say exactly what the matter was about. If he were a regular employee, and then suddenly comes the formidable enemy of the council, governance in Bahrain. I worked on it, so he can remain as an independent enemy figure. What is he like? He did not hold an executive position in the company over the last 2 years. It's possible for regular employees. Most of the water is in the documents. She says, no, I wasn't ever an employee at the company during that period. In the past 2 years, with a board member, not related by blood, not related by kinship, with a senior member of the executive management team, the managers, presidency of the dispute, those who have authority within the company. There is no such thing as a basket of relatives. Between him and him, certain countries such as Egypt, for example, claim. She said that he does not exceed his membership duration within the long-standing company. For 6 consecutive successful years, I have lost. It symbolizes independence. And that's why we always say that all successful companies, the institutions are responsible for monitoring or a decline in independence. Its members every year. Has anything changed? This autonomy Nothing has changed. We strongly believe there must be full financial independence. It means he can make a decision clearly. Freedom without any pressure on it. You say that I didn't contribute at all? 10% in the company? He doesn't have 10% shares or more. Some countries tell you that you shouldn't have shares in the company so that he can have independence in decision making. His decision should remain uninfluenced. Because he has shares, he is worried about his stocks. He wants to significantly increase the value of the stocks. Reduce it to keep it here. There is an interest conflict. Or let him make a decision. Independence remains if unaffected. So what's left? It will also lose its cherished independence and autonomy. It is also absolutely necessary for the Council. A yearly evaluation process is conducted. On autonomy, as they say, there are always some noticeable symptoms. Side effects of independence, or independence allows the member to move from being an independent member to a non-independent member. For example, if we say something like, for instance, governance in irrigation, financial markets, it tells us the symptoms of independence. The member must be fully capable and reliable. In performing his duties, he begins reading fairly and without bias. What factors contradict this objectivity and impartiality? He owns a significant percentage of the company. He owned 5% or more of the company's shares. As for our statement on the Queen of Bahrain, 10% of the shares transferred here. It depends on whether he buys it within this year. He had 2% of the shares. Increase them by 5%. If by the end of the year he completely loses his independence. This led to symptoms. You both are almost like relatives. With a distinguished member of the board of directors, executive management. He is definitely not an official board member. In his company, he is a candidate. In his company and a holding company. Where exactly are these symptoms located on your body? In my governance course, he works at the company, an employee over the past 2 years. He just mentioned that he's an employee here. We discussed various governance pathways in the entire kingdom. The Navy said he would, holding a high-ranking executive position in the company structure. Autonomy. For 2 previous years, we will find different conditions. In different countries, your final decision should be completely neutral and unbiased. Make your decision independently. With the potential financial benefit that may come to you, do you have any long-term financial commitment? In the past 2 years or so, significant changes occurred. With the company, the nominee for state council member. If you are, for example, an auditor or a consultant in it, and you are consulting as an expert for this company, anything that affects or it appears in it, the consequences of indecision, if he checks on you, it should be impartial. Independence signifies that you're not an autonomous and independent member. Each country has unique conditions. So, let's briefly summarize everything we've discussed today. We only talked briefly about the possibility of forming the new council. Committees can be formed. We will discuss it further, God willing. Next times, we discuss the board of directors membership. There are 3 types of club membership available. There is an executive member and a non-executive member, and there is an independent member. All right, just one last important thing to wrap up completely. Today's topic, there is a specific hour when it changes. Board of directors with information, essential and necessary. Who's responsible? For the board to recognize, does he know this stuff? And this is considered the best practice for the process. To have a list, board of directors. We will discuss the board of directors regulations. Detail this list. You provide details for each new member. He must get to know her from the very beginning of his new membership. Board of directors. Who, for example, he thoroughly understands the organizational structure of the company. He is getting to know the company's departments. He knows the laws. Board of directors. He reviews the internal audit reports. Over the past 2 years, he reviews the external auditor's reports. He is currently reviewing the company's detailed financial statements. What are the risks? If there was, internal company risk management register. He looks forward to it. So we could say that it is the case, for example. Training topic, he says he'll join as a board member. He has exceptionally high expertise in his field. Instead, let's not refer to it as training. We say that's it must be. This is really harsh information. It is the company's primary duty. If she conveys the message to a board member, and also he must know what is commitment, what is required of the various responsibilities of a dedicated board member, his rights and duties, what specific information can he request from her? He restricts her. There are no restrictions on the council member. What the council does not regulate itself. In his list, so this critical information must definitely be known by each and every board member. At the beginning, membership. These traps, a previous episode outside our series. Refer to her video if needed, God willing. The video link will be placed below. Trap options, the executive management sets it for a council member and run it on behalf of his main role. Today, we had an in-depth discussion about forming the new board of directors for the upcoming term. Types of membership, board of directors. Was this executive, non-executive, or independent? They talked to us about all the basic background information. He should try to get to know her. At the start of his time on the board, Deba is the first appointed member of the board of directors. I really hope that this number will be useful to you. God willing, we will see you again. Peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings.